stories. Hello.
I threw a couple in there. All right, we're live. What's up, everybody? Tuesday evening after work, right here at attacktheandroids.com/live. If you want to watch with the chat room and actually chat in real time, that's where you can do that. So the hangout, or just watch on Google Plus and don't chat at us. That's fine too. Just
make sure you're running Firefox.
Just make sure you watch and you're using Firefox. All right, let's record it. We're gonna record it. Check. Are we good? Are we good?
I don't know. You tell me.
All right, check. Okay, Nick, are we good?
Sounds good to me.
Are we good?
Sweet. Are we live?
This is good. All right.
For centuries, we've been warned about little green men.
Now, they are coming. They're coming for you. Run. But first,
Shut your windows.
hide your apples. Prepare for the attack of the android. And now, your host and the human leader of the Android Underground, Matt Lee.
Boom. What's up, everybody? It's Tuesday, June 10th, 2014. This is episode 126 of Attack of the Androids. Every week, Tuesday evenings, you can watch us, attacktheandroids.com. Check it out. I'm Matt Lee. That guy, that's Eric Finkenbiner. What's up, Eric?
Not much. Just, doing some troubleshooting. Nothing I like better at 5 a.m.
Oh, we'll start things off with that after we also introduce Nick Carroll, not doing troubleshooting. What's up, Nick?
Hey guys, glad to be back.
So Eric, what's going on? Google products not working well with each other, or is this a PEBCAC issue?
No, it's not PEBCAC. UDICK. Yeah, it's but it's Chrome. It's Chrome. Chrome does not like to play with Hangouts. And granted, I'm doing it on Ubuntu, Linux, the nerd operating system, but for God's sake, I've reinstalled Hangouts 3 or 4 times and it still doesn't work. So, but I fire up Firefox and it works. So that's what we're doing.
I mean, it's a browser thing. It shouldn't even care what OS it's running as long as it has processor, right? Memory, a bunch of memory, right? Hangouts, you pig.
Yeah,
and then and then the input. And assuming, I guess the OS would matter as far as your audio and video drivers work. As long as all that works, it shouldn't care if you're on, Chrome on Ubuntu or Windows XP or whatever. And that's Firefox. I'm doing all the Hangouts now hosting in Firefox because I don't have 4 gigs of RAM on this laptop, and Chrome just eats it up. Firefox it's noticeably better, so I don't know.
Do you remember we're podcasting like it's 2004. Remember how Firefox used to have memory leaks and things like that? Yep. And now you're saying I'm running Firefox to be more memory conscious.
I got Firefox with no script and AdBlock Plus.
Yeah, that goes a long way actually towards making it more usable.
Stories load quicker, because, all we're doing is caring about the text, right? I don't need all of this fancy ad BS. I just need the information so that I can read it to the listeners.
Doesn't need to be pretty.
Yeah,
Send it to me in plain text.
Yeah, I even use a memory manager for Firefox. It's called, AO, I don't remember what it's called, but anyways, it's a memory manager for it. It's supposed to even make it even more efficient. But yeah, I would compare Hangouts memory use in Chrome compared to Firefox. And it's much better, a lot less, maybe 1/10 as much memory allocated or used in Firefox. So, yeah.
Yeah, and I'm sure, they keep adding things to Hangouts. It keeps getting bigger and bigger. It'll get sorted out, hopefully.
We need a calling.
We'll just start doing Skype shows again, It's all good.
That'll be fun.
Right. I should give a shout out and a congratulations to you guys and this show. Last month in May, we actually broke 1,000 unique downloads, which is pretty awesome for little podcasts we pull out of our b-holes every week. So nice job, guys. Nice job.
Yeah, and congrats to you as well, sir.
Oh, what, me? Oh, yeah. I prepared a speech. I mean,
It's only 10 minutes. Hope you guys.
Post show.
First of all, I'd like to thank Google. Let's start things out. I just want to mention Nexus 10 got the 4.4.3 update. I've heard rumblings of the Moto X getting pushed to 4.4.3 as well. I haven't gotten it on my Verizon one, but I keep checking. It seems the same. I don't know. On the tablet, it's a little snappier, I guess. But the Nexus 10's old, man. So it's good to see it getting updates still. We'll start things out. The 64 gig Moto X coming to the Moto Maker. Eric, you posted this. AndroidandMe.com wrote about it. The try then buy promotion that they did. Did anybody fall for that? I mean, try that at all? Was that?
I would have considered it had I found out about it before it went out, before they ran out of their stock. But yeah, it was pretty interesting. So like for a penny, you could try it out for a couple weeks, and most likely you'd probably keep it. I guess, I don't know. So that's pretty cool.
I definitely wish my Moto X had 64 gigs for sure. Every time something updates, it's like 800 megabytes memory left. I'm like, gotta clear some caches again and drop a bunch of Google Music stuff. And
yeah, you get all those apps. They can and they update over time. Yeah, you can get a lot of usage out of that. Yeah.
Definitely.
You know, I've been thinking about doing this just to like, cause 64 gigs, that can be your music player for like years.
Yeah.
Right.
Like that is really, really cool. You could have that as your podcatcher that just sits there.
I wouldn't.
And you can customize with little colors and stuff.
Right.
Cool.
It's so cool. I want more gigs. What is it? The 64 gig on the Moto Maker site for $449. So that's pretty.
Yep.
And of course, customizable backs if you were one of those people.
Yep. Get your teak on.
Get your satin finished teak on.
Nothing like a spearmint phone. Yeah.
Oak rosewood.
Let's see what they have. Actually, so they have walnut.
Yeah, they have walnut. Yeah.
Walnut, bamboo,
Ooh.
ebony finish for the
Ooh.
discerning gentleman.
You know
and
I
teak.
like an ebony finish.
Yes,
All
we
right.
do.
Can we?
This is very cool. I wish they would have done this at the outset, though. Like, I feel like more people might have gone for it with, a huge memory option like that.
Yeah. I mean, what can you compare it to in the 64 gig range for that price? I mean, an S5? Nope. An HTC One Max? Nope.
An iPod, pretty much.
I mean,
LG,
maybe. I've been seeing a lot of new LG phones floating around, like people around here actually locally getting, which is kind of cool, because it's been all Samsung and a couple HTCs, but everybody has, an S3 or an S4. But now the upgrade cycle's coming around again, and it's interesting. They're not going for the S5.
Yeah, I just don't. It could just be Samsung's design choices, but I think people look at it and they don't really see a difference. You know what I mean?
Right.
I don't know. I know like a lot of times iPhones look the same or very close. But there's something different. Like with the Samsungs, you look at it and you say, I am not sure that anything really has changed just by like looking at the outside of the phone. So that might be part of the problem.
You look at the Samsung and you're like, man, that is a big iPhone.
Yeah. Hey, it's still made of plastic. Cool.
Nice.
Very nice plastic.
But it's plastic. I mean, it's a teak plastic.
A teak.
Plastique, if you will.
Oh, God. I will say, though, I mean, not to criticize it too much, because when I had my S3, I actually liked it. Like, I thought that the plastic was very nice. The phone was very light. So,
My girlfriend
saying,
loves hers. My roommate loves his. I mean, they do like it. I get on them and I'm like, I don't like this at all. But some people don't know better. And
Yeah, my wife is still
some
on
people
her
are dumb.
S3. Yeah, my wife is still on her S3, and she even bought like a 7,000 milliamp hour battery, like a standard battery pack for that. So
that weighs
thing
like
lasts.
15 pounds and burns you.
Yeah.
Does it fit, or did she have to get a special back for it?
A special back for it.
Made out of duct tape.
Lots of duct tape. Yeah. It's a new finish. It's very nice texture.
Can you put the salve on my back? I'm starting to get third degrees back here.
Yeah. Pretty bad.
Let's see, CM11 M7 coming out for 50 devices. Bogdan Petrovin writing on Android Authority. CM11 M7, that's based on 442. They said that there wasn't time for proper integration of 443 codebase into M7, but the nightly releases based on 443 are already out for a bunch of devices. But it's not going to be the stable. They say M7 brings several cool features, including the Theme Chooser UI, which lets users apply customization features like fonts, icon pack sounds, or even full themes. Personally, I never got into theming. I don't know if it's because it was early days and when you'd ROM and then you'd put a custom theme on it, maybe not everything worked all the time, and it seemed like a pointless, I don't know. I'm more like function than like, ooh, look at my pretty theme. I mean, I like my backgrounds, don't get me wrong, but like the font and like, who cares, really?
Well, I think this is, but if you look at it, like I'll put my phone up here. So this is the M7 build. Like that's what the theming part looks like, and I really like what they did because you have well, if I turn the phone back on, you have like spots for like the boot animation, icons, fonts. Like you can do everything. You know, you could customize everything individually, or you could make a theme pack. So, I mean, the benefits to that are it makes it easier for people if they just want to tweak one thing. If you always like a different font, you're not having to download a market app to do it. And then
that's cool, I guess.
Yeah, and sort of, I mean, it gives theme builders another. I mean, I think there are standards out there, but I mean, it gives them a standard for Cyanogenmod. So I mean, that's pretty cool. But you really wouldn't know it's there unless you read the changelog. Right. I haven't really seen much difference in running M7. Hopefully, Bluetooth is better, but overall, it seems stable.
Did you notice the new revamped calculator app?
I looked.
I didn't. UI and
Yeah.
feature updates to the Trebuchet launcher.
He does all of his calculations in his head, so he didn't quite notice.
I've actually never used the calculator app. My calculator app is called my brain.
I am a robot.
The brain.
And
app.
I don't use Trebuchet, so.
It's a good font, not such a great launcher. In my humble opinion.
No, I don't like it either. I think that it kind of sucks. But
yeah.
Then again, maybe after all the CM11 stuff, I'll switch back to it just to see if it's improved. But it has nothing on Nova Launcher so far.
Sure. And then they say Bluetooth improves support for new car audio systems and docks. I'm wondering if maybe that's what my bug is with the Moto X. When I'm Bluetooth in my car and I hit the mic button on the keyboard, it completely kills the audio, and then it won't play until you shut the car off and turn the car back on again. It's really weird. So, I don't know. I'm also having another problem, possibly PEBCAC related, I don't know. But now when I'm playing music or podcast in BeyondPod, right, and I want to use text or speech to text, and I hit the mic button, it'll try to mute what I'm playing, but then it'll start playing again. So you can't talk over it. It's really weird. I've rebooted. I've looked at all the apps that I thought might be. I can't figure it out. So I don't know.
Does it transcribe the podcast you're listening to?
If it hears it, yeah.
That's awesome.
Yeah, it's really awesome.
That's not a bug. That's a feature.
When I'm trying to talk. Yeah, no, it's fantastic.
I haven't come across that yet, but that does suck.
Yeah, it absolutely does. So, maybe that'll get fixed. 443. Oh,
like,
yeah.
Matt, why are you sending me texts about generating entropy? I'm very confused.
Right? In between what I'm trying to say. I don't get this at all. Any other thoughts on the M7? You running that on the Oppo?
Yes, I am. None so far. I look forward. I look forward every month now to the M releases, just because. I mean, the main thing is Bluetooth. I cannot tell if the problems are with Pebble or if it's with Cyanogenmod.
So what are your
Could be
problems?
both.
What's your Bluetooth problems? Just not pairing, or what?
Damn thing, it won't stay paired. It will not stay paired, and then it loses connection very easily. And the only way to get it to reconnect is to unpair it and repair it. So, I mean, at this point, I'm just not wearing the Pebble, and I'm like that close to just selling it.
I wonder if that's what it's doing. If it's unpairing, I'm just not noticing it until I turn the car off. Because I've turned Bluetooth off on both devices, and it'll play, but like there's no audio, right? Like the audio's glitched. I don't know.
Are you running Cyanogenmod, or is that stock?
No, this is just stock Moto X+1.
I don't know.
Yeah. So, Nick, you messing with M7 at all?
No, I'm still running stock on my Nexus. So.
That boy. How this show has changed.
Yeah.
Fun fact. I forgot to mention it before, but my device, the Nexus 7 LTE, I think is the only Nexus device in the modern generation that has not gotten 4.4.3. So maybe I'll go CyanogenMod on that at some point.
And that should have got it a minute ago.
It's not even on the even on the images site. I don't know what the deal is.
So that was first gen?
No, it's second gen.
Really?
Yeah. So
well, I/O is just around the corner in it next week, 2 weeks.
Mm-hmm.
So
yeah, maybe they'll come out with that Nexus 8
and give one to everybody that has a 7.
Yep, along with their Moto watch and their LG watch and every other watch.
So to finish this up, you can get the CM11 M7 for 50 devices. We'll put a link to the shot in attackoftheandroids.com in the show notes there. You see,
they're going to say for $50.
Your device is supported for $50.
Yes. Attack of the Androids.
This is maybe what I've been waiting for. I'm not sure. I do use VLC to play all of my TV shows and movies on my desktop, which for some reason will not Chromecast. It will, but it's like, I don't know what this is, and I don't know what to do with it, so I'm just going to sit here stupidly. But VLC for Android is getting Chromecast support soon. DiMaria writing on Android and Me, very exciting. They say in a quest to stream all of your media content from your devices, VLC has announced that it is adding Chromecast support to the player. So this should work then, right? Because if the player's playing it and I just need that button to cast it, it's doing all the encoding, it should just be fine. I'm excited for this. This had better fix it. If not, just have to wait for something else.
I kind of hope it doesn't fix it.
I kind of hope you shut the hell up. This applies to the I'm sorry for yelling. That was rude. This applies to the iOS, Android, and desktop versions, though the desktop versions will take longer due to lack of native support for Windows, OS X, and Linux in the SDK. However, the mobile devices will get it soon.
Yeah, I'd also like to see VLC come to like Chrome OS as well, because it's sad. A lot of these native players, the codec's not built in,
right?
And you just can't play it on either Chromecast or your Chrome device. So, yeah, I'd like to see more VLC action and more competition from other companies making similar products that will do that. So.
Yeah, and VLC. I mean, if you play any media. Like, you'll try, what was it back in the day? It was like Media Player Classic in the codec packs. You'd get like the K-Lite codec pack or the whatever. And then it was like, you could use this. And then everyone started using VLC for some reason. I think it started, at least in torrent communities, that VLC would let you play a file that wasn't complete. So you could check the quality of the cam or whatever you're watching before you bothered downloading the whole thing. And from that point, and at least, I mean, that's what I remember, right? And then it just took off because it was a good player. And then I've used it for music.
So the advantage with VLC for a lot of people is that it'll play just about everything, and everyone that in the coding community is now using codecs that VLC would be able to support. The downside is that VLC is a little bit more like processor intensive rather than some of these other programs like Media Player Classic or Windows Media Player with a codec, anything like that. So that's the only downside is how well will the videos, what quality will the videos be when they are sent to the Chromecast?
Is that VLC though, or is that just the fact that videos are getting higher quality and larger and thus take more computing? Like if you open an MKV for a 720 or 1080p video file in Media Player Classic or VLC, I assume they're going to use close to the same, right?
Yeah, well, yeah. I mean, you're not having like Blu-ray rips essentially in MKV, for example, that that are fairly I don't know how to exactly explain. Yeah, the bit rate. Thank you. I was thinking bit depth, but yeah, bit rate is really high. So, but nowadays, even your low-end budget, PCs can run that just fine. So, my only concern is just how well will the Chromecast handle that? What will the quality of the video be? When it arrives to it. So,
Eric, thoughts?
I'd be happy if this worked. I don't use VLC on the phone though.
Me neither.
I don't know. It really hasn't been anything I've wanted. And I don't know if you guys have started using it, but Plex. Like I just use the Plex app now, and it does all the streaming, MKVs, anything I rip to the computer, it will play for the most part. So
Ant Pruitt from Yats is all about Plex. We actually met the guy from Plex at CES and did an interview, and yeah, their stuff is definitely on point. It's just not something I use it a lot, but not enough to want to pay for it, I guess, in that way. I don't know. It's
a one-time payment, and you don't have to pay for it. I think the Android part is free now.
If you want the server to work right and the subscription service, I thought you had to pay the Plex at home.
If you want to access it from the internet, is the main thing. And it used to be that you would have to pay for it if you wanted to access it from mobile devices, I think. And as far as I know, I don't believe that that's the case anymore. Here. Actually. Yeah, I think that you would just have to pay for the app on Android, so it'd be a few bucks. But the Plex Pass, if you will, gets you like cloud sync and multi-user support and stuff.
Yeah. And I don't know, back in the day, like VLC wasn't around on Android, and there were other things that worked. So I never did get into using it like you didn't, because Mobo Player would play MKVs and everything, and there was another one. I don't remember. I think Mobo Player is the main one I used. But
MX Player.
Now, ES File Explorer has a video player. Like all of these other apps just do it built in now, so you really don't need a standalone video player. But
they were really late to the game. VLC could have dominated.
It doesn't matter because if they get this to work, then game's over. Like that's what we're missing, right? I mean. Let me play my torrent videos, Come on.
Alleged.
Come on, guys. Come on, relax.
Well, hopefully also if they bring this functionality, other programs will start doing that as well. So even if you don't use VLC, you may reap the benefits of what VLC brings to the community. So we'll see how that goes.
Well, and I mean, natively it doesn't even work. If you go to the cast screen, on your phone when you're on Wi-Fi and everything, like it just errors. It doesn't do anything yet. So hopefully we see a lot of more of this functionality start working a lot better. They say, according to one of the employees of VLC, the iOS version will have Chromecast support baked into the next update. This probably applies for the Android version as well. However, they did not release a date. So yeah, we'll keep an eye on this, and we'll see how well it works. I'm excited. Yeah.
As are we all.
Are we all? I can't really detect your enthusiasm, Eric.
Woo!
Are you, Eric? Are you?
Yeah, of course.
Tell me about the Lytro coming to Android. That's cool. It wasn't. What was the Lytro? That's like that super cool, like expensive camera that Trey Radcliffe uses for like in-depth feel. I don't know. What? Tell me what it is.
The Lytro camera. It's. I think it's about that big, but it's like a little box, and you look through it, and you can take pictures. It kind of looks like a toy, but the idea is that you can you take a picture, and then you can dynamically just look, I'm using buzzwords. You can just pick where you want the focus to be.
Change the focus on the fly in real time.
Synergy just exudes from this device.
It's mobile. It's social. It's
so I could take a picture and then I could say, oh, I don't like the focus there. I want to change it here. So that was the initial Lytro camera, but it was sort of like a one-trick pony, and I don't know, much like Google Glass or other things, like you may look like a douchey, geek if you're out there using it. But this looks like it's still a little goofy, but more like a DSLR.
More like a real camera, yeah.
So
That's
it's
pretty
a
cool.
box that you put your phone into, and then Android controls it, because that's kind of what the picture looks like.
I thought that was just the screen.
Okay, so that is okay. Then if you guys are watching, here's what it looks like. But yeah, so it just pops out. Then the screen does.
Yeah. But I guess you can interface it with an Android app, maybe. Is that the deal, or is it's powered by Android? I guess. Okay, that's cool.
I think it's powered by Android.
It's doing the lens blur effect in hardware. Is that what I'm understanding?
Yeah.
Awesome.
Yeah, but the thing is, like with the Android lens blur, you have to pick where you want the blur to be.
Right. This
it's
everywhere.
Yeah, with some of these other cameras where they're sort of giving you like this effect on the cheap, they're kind of making multiple pictures and at different depths, and then you sort of select it. Here it gathers a whole bunch of data for the entire picture, and so that's why you can more granularly adjust the depth. So, but the file sizes are supposed to be pretty large, if I remember correctly, for this. Sure. But that's what gives you that ability, that high resolution, and that ability to fine-tune the depth information, where you're going to focus.
The information is there. You just have to pick which part you want to show in a particular picture. Yeah. It's almost like the difference between like how we record the show and then in post we like do limiting and all that, as opposed to having a real-time piece of hardware here that was doing the limiting before it's getting recorded. You're starting with a better quality so that your picture ends up nicer.
Yeah.
It looks nicer. I want to see an Android camera that is made for photospheres. But instead of me looking like a jerk off doing the foot, you guys have done it, do the photosphere.
Yep.
Doing the photosphere. You set it down, right? And then it just it does it on its own. That's what I want to see.
Will it look like a Nexus Q? That's what I want to know.
Look exactly like a Nexus Q.
It also has to be just as big as the Nexus Q.
Powered by quadricopter technology. That'd be so cool. Like, just do it. I don't even want to stand here. I'm going to go over there and sit down, and you make my photosphere. Yeah.
I get some Dippin' Dots. You be here.
I'm going to go get these Dippin' Dots. Oh, that's a long line. Everybody likes Dippin' Dots.
Maybe take 2 of those photospheres.
So, of course, this is just an image leak, so who knows. But EvLeak says next quarter, possibly. Android-powered light field camera. That even sounds cool. Look at my dynamically Android-y powered light field array matrix zoom tech.
Mm-hmm.
That's what I'd call it.
I don't think any professionals will use this outside of, like, it'll just be like it'll be the gimmick camera, I'm guessing.
I'm going to go take one shot of this real estate for my real estate website, and then, yeah.
But it is kind of cool that the Lytro, like, they're talking that it'll have according to the leak, that it'll have an 8x optical zoom lens.
Sure.
So I mean, like, there are some redeeming qualities to it, but I mean, could you add lenses to this? Like, are they going to be a standard lens like Nokia or something, or do you have to get special ones?
What if they make a Project Aura module? You can
that would be a huge Project Aura module.
Well, but you know what I'm saying. Like, you have that that attachment to turn yours into that for your one gimmicky shot, and then.
No, that'd be cool.
No, shut up.
I mean, as long as it can do regular cameras, and it's just like it's like a premium module, that would make sense. Don't tell me to shut up. This is a podcast. If I don't talk,
No, you have to be talking. I apologize. What am I doing?
silence.
I'm gonna shut up.
The silent cast. Thank you for joining.
Just tones. Tonight's episode will be 8 Hertz.
From the makers of Attack of the Androids, they bring you Tones, the podcast.
Tones.
We need to do this. Let's just work up the spectrum.
I have a keyboard.
I want 3 kilohertz. I want 3 kilohertz.
Yes.
Perfect.
That'd be so awesome. All right. Lytro Android-powered phone, maybe. Very exciting.
You didn't use one of these at a CES. Obviously not this camera, but was Lytro there?
They might have been. There was a lot of stuff that I'm reading articles now of stuff coming out that's like, and they debuted at CES. I'm like, really? Okay. I didn't see it, but that's cool.
Not at my CES.
Not at my CES. Right. All right. What next, Eric?
How about the
1080p Moto X+1? Since we were talking about the Moto X earlier, is this happening or not? Because I won't have an upgrade for like another year, obviously, but it's good to see a refresh of the device.
I think it will. I think the Moto X+1 is going to happen. Period.
Is that going to be the name?
I hope not, but that's the new thing. The +1.
The next is 8 + 3.
Yeah, maybe that's how we get around the whole like having to put years on the end of things. Like the Nexus 7 2013, it's going to be the Nexus 7 + 8.
You could say the X4 and then exponentially awesome. All right, please, Eric. Continue.
So all this story is. Literally all the story is that a Moto exec posted a screenshot of mobile network settings, and the whole thing was because with Moto X users that were international, there was this bug where you could not shut off the network name up in the notification area, and that was blocking access to other information. So the exec, to appease people, posts a screenshot of this option in mobile network settings that you can check on and off to show the network name or not to. People analyzing the screenshot noticed, holy crap, this is 1080p. What? And nerdgasm ensued, and that's why people think it's the X+1.
Is that wise though? I almost feel like I would want a 1080p for my tablet, but not for my phone, just for raw battery life purposes, 720. What are you watching that you need 1080p on your phone? I get bigger, better.
You're the one talking about MKVs and, where's that Blu-ray rip that I legally obtained?
I'm not watching it on my phone, dude. Well, not all the time.
See? Out of yourself.
Let's just say that when I'm watching videos on my phone, quality isn't my top priority, okay?
No, it makes sense, and for most people it probably isn't.
Sure.
I honestly can't think of a use case where 1080p on the phone would be better than 720p, but,
it would probably be reading small text, I guess, but I don't
know. With the magnifier app?
Then you just pinch and zoom.
It makes your phone really the size of, like, your wall, but you can't read anything until you zoom in on it. I like that, with your monocle. Well, that's cool. I like when people read like way into things like this. Like, how did the picture 1080 resolution size even become a thing when they were looking at something having to do with the network operator name? Like, it's like such a totally different thing. It's funny.
They were looking at EXIF data. Maybe they were trying to figure out what kind of phone it was on, and this is what
1920 by 1080, and somebody was like, "Oh my god."
Yeah, I'm gonna spoil a little bit about how some of this Android reporting happens. It's a lot of looking at EXIF data and then looking at benchmark apps
and then
looking for things. Yeah,
and looking for patterns.
Mm-hmm.
And then extrapolating.
And you need a beautiful mind.
Looking for patterns. Awesome. They say that, yeah, that said, it's just a fucking picture. So
It's a screenshot.
all right. The birthday
Congrats.
of Moto X is just around the corner, though. So keep your eyes open. Maybe
Yeah, that's a best birthday present. You're obsolete. Go away.
Your phone that you struggled to get to keep your unlimited data, yeah, that's obsolete now, so that's cool.
But I mean, you're coming up on, what, like 9 months in on this Moto X.
Sure.
Are you still happy?
Yeah, for the most part, except when the
Ooh.
Bluetooth thing doesn't work and the keyboard mic doesn't. But yeah, no, I am. I'm totally stoked on it.
So I mean, do you think something's gonna come along in the next 2 years that you'll be like, oh God, I wish I could have just got a new phone?
No, I don't know.
You got to get something. You can't wait forever. So I mean, I could have waited for a better smartphone myself. I was on an Atrix 2, which I had for like a year and a half or more, and I could have waited, but I was like, I got to get something better. So you got to get whatever when you got to get it. So.
Well, the Atrix 2 is abuse. I mean, the Moto X seems like a comfortable, a comfortable waiting area.
I'm definitely itching more for a new Nexus 10 than I am for a new Moto X.
Yeah.
For sure. So.
Now, if it was a Nexus 8, if they said we're no longer doing the 7 or the 10, we've landed on this ooey gooey gushy middle, which is the Nexus 8, would you go for that?
I don't think so, because that's too close to my phone size, kind of. I like it.
5 inches.
Well, no, it's like 4.7, but I mean, it's getting to that more towards that end than I don't know.
The 10-inch.
And my work tablet, the Tab 3, that I feel like it's not an 8 is like maybe an inch bigger than that, which would be pointless,
What about you, Nick? I mean, you have the Kindle Fire tablets, right?
Well, I have a Nexus 7, the original one, and that's the one that I use. My wife uses the Kindle Fire tablets as well as my kids. I would be interested in getting the Nexus 8. I skipped on getting the second Nexus 7 that came out, the 2013 edition, because for me it wasn't a dramatic increase over the Nexus 7, the original one that I had. So I would be personally more interested in getting this than, say, Matt would, because he's already got a 10-inch tablet. So he was probably looking for another 10-inch tablet. But for me, 7 or 8-inch smartphone or tablet would be fine for me. So.
I mean, it's a cool size. It's definitely a cool size. That 7-inch Tab 3 that I carry around at work, like I find myself kind of using it more because it's faster than the Nexus 10, and the size is cool for like books and stuff. But I don't know, just playing games and stuff. Like the Nexus 10 is a good size. Like it feels good to hold. It's a good distance apart, I guess, between your hands. I don't know, and it looks
good in the hand.
It's awesome on that.
Yeah. Also, like I've got a Chromebook with like 11-inch screen, so I probably wouldn't necessarily go for a 10-inch tablet as much as I would for an 8-inch tablet that's more portable. So
you'd hold out for like a 23-inch tablet at that point.
Yeah.
That giant Dell that you
Eric's eyes light up.
Was it Asus?
Yeah.
Yeah.
The Asus all-in-one where it's just like, oh fuck, it's so big. And you have to, you need an assist. Just Aunt Pruitt needs to come there and like bench lift your tablet.
That's right.
Very cool.
On the wall. All right. What were you gonna bring up when I totally didn't let you? Give me something.
You didn't let me bring something up. Well, obviously it was the Amazon Kindle app update.
Nice.
That is awesome.
Is it?
Yeah, it's. I think so because I'm also an Audible subscriber. Like it's really only a big deal if you read on Kindle and you're an Audible subscriber.
Sure.
They have this thing called WhisperSync, which has been around for a long time. Which is if I'm reading a book on my Kindle or in my Kindle app, and then I also have the audiobook, they'll sync with one another, so I can just pick up right where I left off, switching between the two. So now the Kindle app on Android offers that switching direct within the Kindle app. So you can seamlessly switch between book and Audible and book.
That's pretty awesome.
Yeah. Do you guys? For some reason, I'm thinking, Matt, that you are an Audible subscriber. Am I right or no?
No, I'm into playbooks because I still like reading them.
Oh, okay.
And if I listen,
how about you, Nick?
I won't listen to podcasts, and then I'll get behind, and it's just a mess.
The closest I've done for that is I've taken some video series and then basically converted them to MP3 and listened to them on the drive to work and back. But that's about it. I don't use Audible or anything like that. So.
Oh man, I love Audible. See, this is why they won't sponsor us. I heart Audible.
No, it's awesome for sure. If I had more time, I would definitely.
You know, I would have to review for me, mostly what I would do is I would listen to like certification kind of stuff, and I would consider doing that for that. But I don't listen. Like mostly what I listen to now are podcasts or music, so I don't really listen to like the spoken word essentially. You know, like books and stuff so much. But if it's something related to like technology that I'm studying, I would probably do that. But I haven't done any research.
Nice.
Yeah, it's I don't know, Matt. You bring up an interesting point too. Like I have to switch between the two. Like sometimes I get on an Audible kick and I'm listening to books constantly, but then I fall behind on my podcasts. It's yeah, it kind of stinks. But there's really only one podcast people need to listen to on a weekly basis, and
what is that?
we all know what that is.
This one.
This guy.
All right, this is kind of. I don't know if the headline is like facetious or if this is like for real, but Boy Genius reporting Windows Phone is getting an incredibly cool feature that iOS and Android cannot. And it has to do with the Kinect and 3D touch, which, like, okay.
Go on.
I'm interested. Is it dynamic? Is it social?
Does it interface with websites, with their APIs?
In the cloud? But, okay, so he says that this Kinect stuff, it could be very useful, okay, if ported to the smartphone realm. Among other things, it says that the Kinect in Windows Phone will let you answer your phone. Now, wait for it, okay? You're going to one day be able to answer your phone just by holding it up to your ear. Right? Is that...
Is Samsung making Windows phones now?
Think about it. Your phone rings, right? And instead of picking it up and pressing talk... You just hold it to your ear, and it knows. It's like, I know that ear. I'm going to answer this call. And then, you can turn on speakerphone just by setting it on the table. Boom.
You're setting it down to make fun of somebody. Like, this guy's a douche. And then
You'll also be able to end your call by putting your phone into your pocket. Huh?
Throwing your phone against the wall.
Call ended. That's so
This really sounds like a lot of stuff that Samsung was doing. It's like that it's like that crap where you like wave over the phone and you know
or it
magic ensues
to see if you're looking at the screen. I don't know. That kind of stuff it seems like
gimmicky.
And a waste of process and resources in a device where that is your limit. Like you need to be can't just be throwing all this process and resource around all willy-nilly. Gotta like be efficient.
Are we talking about Windows Phone or the Xbox One? Like I'm noticing a trend here with Microsoft and people's complaints.
We're talking about a Kinect-enabled Windows Phone 1.
How is that Kinect?
Codenamed Nokia McLaren, like the car.
This is the dumbest article I've ever read.
I just wanted to share. I thought it was amusing.
No, it's amusing, but I'm really confused. Like, nothing that you've said says connect to me.
That's what the 3D touch stuff is. It knows
That
based
is not
on
3D
lighting
touch.
and positioning, Eric. Lighting and positioning, okay? Dynamic lighting and positioning.
Yeah, I was
want
wondering.
check this out. Microsoft has this ambitious long-term goal, it says, okay? With this new 3D touch technology, the elimination of as many smartphone buttons as possible.
The what? The
No more
elimination.
Microsoft wants to be able to remove buttons like power, so phone owners can simply grip their device to turn it on. I guess like Moto X active notifications, like when I pick it up, it shows me the thing because it knows I picked it up. But to the nth degree?
Yeah, I mean, I think if I'm reading this right, maybe you have to be just in front of the Kinect and then that works, or they're trying to add this Kinect functionality onto the phone.
Put the
magically.
Kinect into the phone.
Wow.
Okay. Yeah, I don't know. It's dumb.
This is dumb. Why don't they work on making the operating system suck less? Or how about make Cortana cooler? Cortana is like
Whoa!
that would be like really, really cool. But no, we're gonna add Kinect to it because that makes a hell of a lot of sense. This, oh God, it's horrible. Let's talk about something else.
Okay.
Something less depressing.
Your turn. How
Nick's
about
turn. Nick
L-
hasn't picked it.
Oh, Nick, you pick.
Hey guys, how's it going?
What do
Hey.
you want to talk about, Nick?
Oh, well, really, this should be something Eric should talk about, but Google Glass comes under scrutiny with movie theater chain.
Eric is the resident G.
Oh, you damn Texans! Why do you hate my freedom?
Oh, I'm sorry. I thought this was America.
It's the Alamo Draft House.
It's like, don't watch me get drunk and drown my sorrows in the bottle of whiskey here. Don't watch that.
Yeah, it's none of y'all business.
It's none of your business. I agree.
So the Alamo Draft House is a movie theater chain that I've even heard of, and I've never. I think I've been to Texas twice. It's I don't know, Nick, if you've ever been there or not.
I'm aware of it, but I've never been.
Well, I think it's just one of these theaters where you can get beer and stuff, and it's one of them cool hip places to go. So they officially made their Google Glass ban official. There's a lot of official there, but they made it official. What they're saying is that it's banned from the draft house once the lights dim for trailers, which it's not like they're gonna hit you in the head and then take your glass right when you walk in the door.
Yeah, this is an AMC. I mean, or what was that other movie chain that did that? I don't know.
Shane.
I think it was AMC that did that, or at least an AMC theater where they.
It was AMC.
So this wasn't
in
a bar. This is actually a movie theater with the name of a bar, which is where I was confused. Okay.
Yeah, and their whole thing is that they didn't want to say anything or make any policies until they actually saw people with glass coming in. But that what they're saying is that their concern is with pirating and such. But that they'll handle, like if it's your prescription glasses with your Google Glass, that they'll handle it like on a case-by-case basis.
Fair.
Yeah,
You think?
I mean, I think it's fair. I don't. It's kind of. I would be kind of irritated because I've worn glass into a theater before, and half the time I put it up on the top of my head anyways because you don't want anything blocking your view of the screen. But at least they're not. I don't think they're being jerks about it. And I don't think that any person wearing glass would say, well, I'm not going to the draft house anymore because they hate my technology.
Right. They're definitely handling it. They learned the lessons from previous F-ups, right? I mean, tactfully handling this.
Yeah, I think they did a good job, and they have enough goodwill, I think, that people are going to give them like the benefit of the doubt at least this once.
I want to see it go back to like the Wild West days where you go into a bar, you gotta check your weapons at the door. We should just be going into theaters, checking our phones at the door, right? And then you go in and you just enjoy the film. Don't worry about Twitter. Don't worry about Facebook. Probably
How you gonna check Run Go Pee in the middle of the?
You should
middle
be
of
a
the
little
show?
more prepared than that.
No,
And
I have
if-
a bladder the size of a walnut.
Hey, if you can't hold it to pee-pee for the length of a movie, then maybe you should just Netflix that biz.
Have you been to movies lately?
Yeah, they're like
I
3
think
hours.
some of these are pretty damn long.
I bring 2 water bottles, one for
It's like
drinking,
The Hobbit.
right? But you could pretty much run, go pee at any point during that movie and not miss much. I mean, you probably want to.
Don't be a hater.
You want to see the dragon scene? No, I like it. It was cool. I'm just saying, you know, you got 8 hours. Not all of it's gonna be solid gold.
Fair enough.
Let's see what else. Yeah. Did you hear the WWDC stuff happen, right? And they talked about Android a little bit, maybe being a toxic hell stew. I believe was that the quote?
I don't even know.
Hell stew. Oh, it was a quote from Adrian Kingsley Hughes from ZDNet that Tim Cook put on a slide that said Android fragmentation is turning devices into a toxic hell stew of vulnerabilities. I see.
Oh, Tim. Trying to stay relevant. Why don't you go buy another headphone company, you douche?
Hey, they innovated quite a bit. Did you? No. Did you see the meme going around? It was like a Google I/O. I think I posted this on the AOTA Facebook page, but it was something about like what announcements they'll be doing. Check Google I/O from 2009 to see all the new Apple stuff. Yeah, I don't know. I thought it was pretty amusing.
Whoa! I just noticed something. So, the guy who was quoted by Tim Cook wrote the article that we are reading talking about how Tim Cook quoted him.
Right. In another article about Android. And because fragmentation has turned, which it has to a tiny point of all of these old devices and burner phones that aren't getting updates are not secure. If you're going to third-party app, right? Like, there has to be a vector of attack there. You're not just like, I'm running 2.3 and all of a sudden my phone is exploited because I turned it on. Like, it doesn't work that way.
Yeah, I think there's when it comes to these like malware situations, use your head, use common sense. I mean, yeah, don't install from third-party websites. If you're pirating crap, you're probably going to get a virus. So you know what? Screw you. You should have just paid your 99 cents, you cheapskate. And
I heard that.
I don't think you necessarily need security software,
No.
but you could if it makes you feel better. And if you don't need to root, like most people do not need to root their devices anymore. If you want to, like I want to, so I'm going to do it. That's fine, but for most people, they are not at risk. This whole Android Android's dangerous. It's a hell stew. No, you're just an ignorant, lazy reporter, and you're the CEO of a competing company. So, whatever. I felt like the argument was strong until the end, but I think you get what I'm saying.
The thing is, we've heard the same argument over and over, and it's like, it's not gaining any more traction, this whole Android is weak and vulnerable, but it's what you do with it that counts.
I think it's there. The updates are there. It's more the carriers not pushing updates out to old devices because they want you to get the newest device, right? Like, it's not... I don't know. It's link bait. I just thought it was amusing.
It is link bait, but the problem is that it's like with computers. People don't... Like the majority, like even like the millennial generation, all these smart little brats coming out where they've grown up with iPads, most of them are ignorant. Like when it comes to common sense, security, and things like that. So
that's ignorant. Don't be ignorant.
That's ignorant.
That's ignorant. I want to climb in trees like a little boy. I'm free, Eric. Don't be ignorant.
Stop it. Shut up. You know what I mean. Sound like baby Michael.
Oh, that's ignorant.
This irritates me. It really irritates me because you know what, these people then grow up to be they grow up to be the people that make decisions in business, and that's when you get these businesses that are all like, "Oh, we only use Apple stuff. Ooh, we're so hip and with it." And in reality, they just like burning money. Rant over. I'm done. Let's talk about the LG watch.
Let's do it, and then let's do some app picks, and then let's be done podcasting for the evening.
Fine. LG watch. So there's actually two stories about this. One was that there's a rumor that it will be one of the Google I/O, goodie bag giveaways.
It has to be, right? It has to be a watch. I thought it might be the Moto one, but maybe not so much.
Well, that's going to be a premium device. I'm not sure if this LG smartwatch is going to be premium, so we'll see how that goes.
Yeah.
Yeah, but the difference between premium though is like $50. So I think that the main reason why it would happen would be that Google and LG have this really nice working relationship that they've had over the past 2 years, 2+ years probably, if you factor in the time frame before the devices were released. So I can see it happening. But they sold Moto. I mean, they obviously didn't want in that game. So this would be, I don't know. This would be the obvious choice. I think they have to give away something that's wearable.
That's not
sure
glass.
As hell is going to be glass.
Obviously.
Yeah.
Unless they wanted to piss off like a bunch of people.
Have a second pair. Yeah, because they have a. I mean, they just released the Android Wear SDK,
right.
So I mean, something has to go with that. It's a given. The only thing I can think of that maybe, could be a possibility is if they have their own like Nexus Fitbit type thing, like just a very basic.
Just a sensor, basically, right? That you're wearing.
What's that? Just a
sensor that you're wearing that communicates with your device, not actually
like
a display.
A pedometer and
right.
Something really, really simple. I could see that, but more than likely they'll go with a hardware partner like LG.
When they're saying this is going to come out July 7th, which is right after I/O, like a couple weeks after, a week after, they said they're not sure about pricing so far, but they said it will cost less than the Gear 2 Neo, which is what, $200? So you gotta, I feel like under $100. For something, I don't know. I mean, people do spend a lot of money on watches, or at least they used to. Other than obviously look at my bling, But as far as a functional, like a Swatch or something, something like that. That was a decent, under $100, right?
You want Kmart pricing?
Almost. I don't.
Give me my Timex.
Personally, I don't want. Maybe a pocket watch if it had a chain and a little thing, I could look it out and be like, oh, I'm late, and then. But yeah, other than that.
Hop down the rabbit hole. Well,
right?
You could probably remove the wristband from the Moto 360 and add a chain to it.
Tie a little hippie hemp thing around it. Hell yeah, I'd jam that.
Yeah, tasteful.
Thank you. Mm-hmm. It would go nice with my bamboo, Moto X. Man, he's just natural. I like it. Very earthy.
Yeah.
Real salt of the earth.
Ebony
fella. All right, so 4 gigs, 400 milliamp battery, 4 gigs internal storage, 1.65 inch 280 by 280p display. What's the PPI on a 280 by 280 display? Is that 560? Is that no? I just multiplied 280 by 280. That's not how it works. What is it? Does anyone know?
I can look it up in a
my
PPI calculator.
Yeah. Google, what is it?
Google, what is the answer? Why is this not answering my question? No.
You never asked a question. I shouldn't have to. Damn it.
Why doesn't the Cyanogenmod calculator have a PPI calculator in it?
How do you even calculate PPI?
I was hoping you guys would do it. I don't know.
You're the developer.
I'm doing it now.
I'm just
PPI.
I'm just networking. I don't know.
Hey, I found it.
Nice. I'm curious now. How do you?
What were the,
247.
Is the watch?
247 PPI.
That's all right. I mean, what's the Moto X like? 315 or no? The Nexus 10 was 315.
Oh wait, I put in the extra decimal. 239. So the Nexus 7 is like 216 or something. So like the original Nexus 7. That's pretty decent.
That's not bad
PPI.
for a watch, right?
Yeah.
You're
You're
glancing
not gonna be looking at it like this, so.
and for like seconds, right? You're just glancing at it.
Yeah.
the Nexus 10 is 300 PPI.
Yeah.
Right.
Yep.
Good stuff. All right. Anything else before we do app picks? I think that's it.
That's it.
Give us
What?
an app right now.
Sure. My app pick is called EML Reader Free. It's not one of those apps I don't think that you would keep on your phone like permanently. So if you're running Outlook and you save an email, you just want to like archive one email specifically, it'll save it as a .eml file. So this lets you open such files. I needed it. Somebody had shot me an email, and they attached to the Gmail, like to the email in Gmail, they attached this EML file, and I was like, what the heck? And this did the trick. It was easy, it was quick, and I'm sure somebody will get use out of it.
Nice.
There you go.
Appreciate that. Appreciate that. It's free.
Yeah.
Nick, give us an app pick, please.
Well, we had mentioned this app on the last episode, but we've never actually recommended it as an app. So I'm just going to go ahead and throw it out there. Spotify. If you want to listen to music and you don't want to pay for a service, you can use Spotify for free, or you can use Spotify Premium, and you can do that. But the free version does have some ads, but I would just recommend this. Just like many of these other apps, but I don't think we ever actually recommended it, so I'm going to recommend it for everyone. That's it.
Good public service. I'm very surprised. This is one of those hidden gems that when you need the app pick, I would have never thought Spotify.
Good stuff. All right, I have an app pick. It's only going to apply to you if you play disc golf or golf or frisbee golf. If you're a member of the PDGA, Pro Disc Golf Association, yes, that's a real thing. If you want to find a course near you, go to pdga.com and check the course directory. Anyway, I'm a big fan. We just took a weekend, went to Libby, to the dam, and played Falf up there. Nice 18. And my brother, he started a Falf group on Facebook. He's been getting way into this. He showed this to me. It was an iPhone app because he's an iPhone dork, but they had it on Android. It's called UDisc Disc Golf App, and it's kind of cool. Like, I don't think about this kind of stuff when I'm playing as far as just keeping score, because we're starting to play holes for money and stuff. So it's cool for that. But if you actually take the time, you can put in all of your Falf discs. You can do throws, and it'll measure throws for you. And then it'll analyze all of this data. So as you play and as you throw discs, and it'll give you this awesome information, like a graph. It'll give you all sorts of info about what you're throwing and how you're throwing and improving your throws and stuff like that. Yeah, it's dumb. I don't know. I like it, but it'll track all your strokes and penalties. It has a built-in 4600 plus course directory. Yeah, if you're playing with a bunch of people and nobody can keep score because you're probably smoking weed out there because it's Falf, it's nice to have on your phone because you can just right there, everything's par 3, everything's 4, whatever, you can just swipe through, boom, done. So, I don't know. If you Falf, email show@attackingtheandroids.com and just say, yeah, I Falf. I'm curious how many listeners actually know what this is, but we're big into it here, so Frisbee Golf. The app is called UDisc Disc Golf App. There's a free version and a paid version, so check it out.
What else are you going to do in Montana?
Dude,
Take pictures of the dam?
check out the PDGA. I'm just saying. I'm going to go pro here. I've been playing for 12 years. I'm almost pro. No, I'm totally
Start your own
Hey, bro,
podcast
even
called
false.
What the False.
What the false? That would be awesome.
Coming up after Tones, what the false?
We could have like a whole just spoof network here. I like it. I like it a lot. Wish I had more time. We need a rich benefactor.
Yep.
Like, you kids are cool. I like you guys. You got good ideas. Here's money. Make them happen. You guys make me laugh.
Yeah. Waz, are you out there?
Right? There's good barbecue here. Just saying. Never been to Glacier Park? All right. What's our email again, Eric? I just completely forgot it.
Oh, well, Mr. Wozniak, if you'd like to shoot us an email or a check, you can do so at show@attackoftheandroids.com.
Oh, very good then. We're on Stitcher, also an Android app, and in iTunes. So if you use iTunes still for some reason for your podcast, go in there and give us a review, because lots of people still do. I don't know how many
We're on the
people
internet.
listen to an Android show on their iPod, but hey, if that's your thing, or Zune, I don't know. Maybe you like Zune. Leave us a message also, 406-204-4687. And we'll catch you guys next week, probably. Have a good night. I really mean that, though. Like, have a good night.
Yeah. Bye.